Hey, this is Glendon with day 10 of Hustler University. Gonna turn the heat up just a little bit more. Let's jump right into it. One of the biggest problems of being a reseller is organization. You can get stuff and you can get it at a good price, but the reality is the more stuff that you have to sell, the more money you're gonna make. So you want to get as much stuff as humanly possible in your pipeline. And I'm talking about stretching yourself. One of the things that I learned from the storage auction business was you will have to stretch yourself, and at times it's going to be a little nuts. But that's what you need to do to figure out what's your best methodology for your business. And I'm going to give you a few parameters that worked well for us. Now, we started it off just like you did, just experimentation, trial and error. With Amazon, you understand, they're going to take a big chunk of the money and they're also going to hold on to your money for a few days and then reimburse you later for shipping. So you're going to be floating some cash there. For me, just in my opinion, if you're and this is selling Amazon direct, anything you put up there, you need to be $20 or $20 and above. Books, media, whatever. And I know that's going to make a very small Amazon inventory. But the thing is, we're not trying to dedicate ourselves to one channel because that's dangerous in today's market. eBay, once again, I'm going to say $50 or more. And I know a lot of you going, what? $50 more? Because I want you to think about this. If you had 200 items on eBay and everything was $50 or more, every time you sell 20%, you do the math. That's 2 G's. I think. Let me make sure. Hold on. I'm going to pull out my calculator because I get nailed when I pull numbers out my head. But let's just make sure that we're factual. Let's say you have, no, let's do this. 400 items times 50. That's $20,000 in inventory. Okay? So you sell 20% of that in a week. Okay. Like I said, four grand. 20%, 4 grand. It's all about percentages and ratios. What many resellers do is go for the low-hanging fruit because the risk is not as great. You're going to have to become comfortable with higher risk to see higher returns. Because I was watching a video and the guy, he's working. He hasn't quite figured it out, but I think he'll get there. And he sold an item for $350 and he got scammed. I lost $1,000 in a storage unit. $1,000 in 2002? $1,000. I had to shrug it off because in this business, you are going to take some losses. It could be from a tax thing. It could be from a scam thing. It could be from a bad buy. It is going to happen. But you must get up on that horse and go, yeah, trigger, and keep riding because it's going to happen. But you want to proportionally increase the value of your inventory. You may have the same sell-through rate, but your profits are going to be much higher. Amazon FBA. I am going to start an FBA channel very soon, but I'm going the wholesale route based on what I've seen. Like retail arbitrage, you can go out and get something great, but once again, you have to buy it upfront cost. The more you buy, the more money you make, right? But you are going to get squeezed with the shipping and with the cost. I mean, so you have it's kind of like being in my old business of buying wholesale. I mean, it's worse. It's worse than being in wholesale. So this is one of the reasons that I said do a corporation, get your business license, get your resale license, so you can go and get stuff wholesale. And this is just going to be part of your mix. Because the thing is, if you're strapped for cash, or some people only want to do $200 a week, and I assure you, when you get through with this course, you're going to be able to do that in a day at times. because it's out there. And you have to go through your environment and figure out what's available to you. I'm in Atlanta, which is one of the largest shipping hubs in the country. I'm actually surprised that Amazon doesn't have a warehouse here. They actually have one in Chattanooga. I don't know if it's worth me taking my stuff up there myself. I don't know. I have to sort that stuff out because Chattanooga is only like, 60 minutes from me. Yeah, about 65, 70 minutes. So I have to look into that. And, I want you to think. You got Amazon with a higher price inventory. Stuff you're putting on eBay, higher price inventory. And you're going wholesale with Amazon FBA, which means you're going to have a much higher margin when you do sell something. But I'm going to do a special deal on Amazon FBA when I get to it. Etsy. You can sell pre-owned stuff. You can sell stuff you can make. You have to get onto the site. There's a lot of things you can do. But don't ever become distracted by one channel, because you're going to have one channel that's just going to be stroking it. And the thing is, you're going to be seduced because it's like, this is doing it and I should put all my efforts there. And I'm going to tell you, don't do it. Fight that urge. Make sure that channel is robust and has what it needs, and take the energy that you don't have to put into the channel that's running like gangbusters into something else. Because I am here to tell you that some things that are initially difficult are a good thing, because once you get them built, it's very hard for your competition to duplicate what you're doing. The very thing that you're running from could actually be your saving grace a year or two from now, because you've built something that your competition just can't move in and immediately adopt or copy. The very thing that you're afraid of, your competition is too. Once again, think big, bigger, biggest. You can sell and source product on Craigslist all day. I see it in the picker community, and I'm not picking on pickers, and no pun intended. But I've seen people with hauls, they spend $20, they may make $100. Once you get the capital, you can go out and spend $500, maybe $700 on products and double your money in a week. Bigger payday requires bigger capital expenditure. Because I'm really pushing people to get out of that, because, there's a lot of wonderful, bright people here. And the big thing is fear and lack of knowledge, which I understand. I've been there. It's not fun. And when you get a little long in the tooth, it's almost embarrassing to ask for help. Because, we're supposed to innately know what to do. And the truth of the matter is, as long as you live, each day is an opportunity to learn something that you didn't know. Once I became functionally ignorant, that's how I consider myself. I consider myself functionally. I don't know everything, which means I need to study, and I need to read books. I need to listen to people, and I need to go to webinars. I need to go to conventions, because the more knowledge that I put in my brain, the more money I make. Conundrum Publishing was just from the ground up this thing that was just an ideal in my head when I was recovering. And that became a full-time business. You can do the same thing with something in your life. I'm going to set up a Facebook sales page. I'm getting ready to work that. It's going to launch May 1st, first week of May, second week of May. I'm going to get into that. And then ultimately your own website. Now I want you to think, and I'm about to flip back, so don't get lost. Don't get dizzy. Amazon, eBay, Amazon FBA. You're doing all of this at the same time. You're doing all of it at the same time. And what you do is you build one channel at a time. You get some stuff in there, it's making money, then you instantly build on another, you start feeding another channel, then you start feeding another one, you start feeding another one. And then concentrically, they're going to all work together, because you're going to have the same vehicle to pick up your stuff. You're going to have the same warehouse. And then that's your infrastructure. And like I said, if you got 7, 8 of these things going and they all do $200 a month, that's $1,400. But the goal is get them to do $200 a day, and keep your costs down. Now, this is a way that you can make money using a system, having a plan. Because, and this is the thing with, if you have a warehouse, this conversation isn't for you. But if you like have a small warehouse or a storage unit, that's where you put your large stuff. Don't put small stuff in there. You got to segment your inventory. Say you're in a storage unit for $200 a month and you can source, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute, enough inventory that after you pay the rent of $200 that you make $400 to $500 profit. It's worth it. One of the things that kills people is what I call the home run mentality. If I'm not making 20 times my money, it ain't worth doing. That is stupid. Some storage units I bought, I made my money back in maybe a 30% profit, maybe a 40% profit, maybe a 10% profit. But I always had other stuff going on, so that one bad buy didn't kill me. You've got to mitigate your risk by having different channels. So you got your warehouse storage unit, large stuff, furniture, appliances, whatever. Your medium stuff, dedicate a room in your house to it. That's your office. Make sure it's organized, it's clean, you know where everything is. And small stuff like jewelry, rubber storage totes. Because the more organized that you are, the more money you will make. Because you lose money when you're disorganized, looking for stuff. That's wasted time, and that time is money. Now, this is another little trick that I didn't talk about a lot, but it was something that got us through some rough patches in the early years. Consignment is not a dirty word. Now, this is the deal in today's world. You got to think about what's in it for the person and why should they do business for you. Because traditional consignment stores operate on a 50% basis. They take 50% of the sales price. Okay? Totally different. I get it. They own the store. They have the customer, the traffic. So you can't sell that unless you can sell that on your own. It makes sense. But you're going to be doing something a little different. To get as many customers as possible, you're going to say, look, hey, Bill, you got anything that you want to sell, but you don't want to deal with the hassle of dealing with folks? And then Bill says, well, sure, yeah, I just think about it, but I don't want to do it. All right, well, this is the deal. And you write up a very simple agreement. This is what's going to be on the agreement. Bill's name, first and last name of your company, and these words. I am going to sell Bill's last name stuff. This is the price. You put the price that you agree on, and then you put in 60 days, if I still have it, I'm going to drop the price. In 90 days, if I have it, I'm going to drop the price. And then you put whatever price points you're going to drop. And this comes after you do your research and see what, think, because if Bill's like, yeah, I got this couch and we paid $4,000 for it, so we should be able to get two. Wrong answer. Everything except for things that you need have been depressed in price. Food's going up, meat's going up, gas is going up, computers going down, flat screen televisions going down, furniture going down. So you have to go ahead and say, oh, Bill, let's do some research before we sign any paperwork. You go to Craigslist and you see Bill's sofa selling for $600-$700, and you're just like, okay, we're gonna do 7. You have to be reasonable and you have to explain this stuff to the person before those figures that are dancing in their head start running to the races. If you can get $5,000 worth of product per month to wholesale and you get 20% of the net, that's $1,000 a month. And the thing is, your product starts coming to you. Now, your goal is not to open up a consignment store. This is just an arm in your business, because you are what? A reseller. You sell stuff. That's what you do. So you've got that going on, your eBay, your Amazon FBA, your Etsy. You see how it starts to add up. And then you realize something else in your life. You always have money. When you get to that point, and when it hits you, it's going to be like, whoa, you will never be broke again. When you get all this stuff built, and for some people do it in 2 weeks, and some people it's going to take 6 months to get it all built. But once you get it built and stroked out, you'll never be broke again. You'll have money coming in. You may have money coming in every day of the week. When we had our Amazon and eBay things going in Craigslist, we made money 7 days a week. We made money when we were asleep. So when you have that kind of cash flow, it solves a lot of problems. Now, remember some of the parts of the Hustler You that was telling you about the CRM contacting people, and if people gave you stuff, Now you can repay him back. And he's like, hey, Bill, thanks for giving me that. But if you got anything that you ever want to sell, you got my number. And the thing is, you have to remind people like at least once a month that you do this because they will forget. Because they're living their lives and they're not really thinking, and after, you sell a few things for them, they'll never forget you. So this is a way for you to stroke up some cash and not put any cash out. That's why the 20% is great. It's awesome. Let's talk about moving fees. If you have to move the item, that's called an expense. And you will take that out and you'll be real factual. It's like it costs X amount of dollars to move and you won't add it up or, add anything to it. If it's $60 to move, then it's $60 that comes out of that. And you will explain that to them or they can move it themselves. And at that point, there will be no moving charges. And this is another thing. Say you have like a few real nice items, but you don't have enough stuff for a garage sale. Go through your list. Hey, does anyone want to have a garage sale? You go to their house. You set it up. Yes, you will be working your ass off. But you get 20% for doing their garage sale. And since you are a part of Hustler University and you know about the ultimate garage sale, that normal rinky-dink garage sale that they make $200, $300, $400, you might make $1,200, $1,500. You get 20% of that. Plus you have your own stuff at the sale. This might be a $300, $400, $500, $600 day just for you. You'll be tired, but this is another option for you to get money. And even when you get your business bigger, you can have your people run your business while you do this. Because the whole thing is consistent money. Just keep things going. Keep the cash rolling. Keep the cash rolling. Because when you get to a certain level and you look in your bank account and you're like, okay, I got 20 grand. A whole nother world of options open up to you. Now with EatZ, and we're going to talk about this a little later with the Kickstarter program. Because Kickstarter is pretty much a pre-sale. That's what it is. It's a pre-sale. So you can create something, a t-shirt, a product, and put it up there and have people pre-buy it. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. I'm going to do a Kickstarter program. I'm just really trying to make sure that I do it right. And just go on Etsy and see what's selling there. That stuff will blow your mind. And another place a friend of mine uses is propertyroom.com. It's an auction site. That's another place you can put your products because go in there, check it out, see if you like it. Because there's so many ways to make money. There are so many ways to make money. So that is day 10. Now your assignment is to start figuring out what you need to do to get as many selling channels together as possible. If it's something as simple as you putting up 10 items on Amazon for the first time, or opening an Etsy account, or just get started. And we're going to stroke it out. All right. That's your task for the day. And I'll see you on the good side.